My name is Nick Spollin. I'm one of the directors of the arts charity Gathering Voices. A short potted history, we were responsible for taking over the music and performing arts space in the park in 2001, which we turned into a beautiful venue, recording studio, digital media suite, workshop areas. 5 years ago, we took over the Chapel on Faith Space site, which some of you may know is just above the centre of the centre, and we refurbished it from a place of worship, although it's still a sanctified space, into a beautiful centre for creativity and well-being. It's called Soundworks. So, we only have 1 year left on our lease at Soundworks, so I need to go on a search for space. And the principle was we wanted to stay in BS3, so I looked everywhere from Ashton Football Club, from Football Club at Ashton, to St Mary Redcliffe Roundabout, and between the railway and the Cut. And I've looked in every single alley, I've looked on Google Earth, I've gone and visited anything that looks bigger than my grandmother's garden shed. And we still haven't found anywhere full time, and we're still looking. However, I'm now going to tell you the story, the short story, which is 6 degrees from bargain land to beautiful. Number one, many years ago, I dated the sister of a welder mate of mine called Reckless Dave. Her name was Dolores, and we used to call her Della. You've got to remember that, yeah? 2, Reckless Dave was associated with the Freak Street Studios in Bedminster Parade. Any of you know that place? Recently been, what do they call it? Closed down by the health and safety in the fire department as a legally certified death trap, while still being advertised by Bristol City Council for tenants. Make of that what you will. 3, Freak Street sometimes had their printing done at the Minuteman Press next door on Bedminster Parade, where I had occasion to meet one of the directors, Lucy, a very kind, generous and connected individual. Lucy subsequently mentioned to George Grace at Town Teams that we might be looking for space sometime in 2014. George Grace, being George Grace, and his 1.5 days a week, which is probably more like 3, contacted us and mentioned some empty retail space in BS3. He then brokered a meeting between Gathering Voices and Urbis Development, who are responsible for the Robinson building, and we've just pulled down the Gala building on North Street. Yeah, Urbis, big development. Now they obviously are intending, a private opinion, to be the kings of BS3. 6, so in early March, Gathering Voices, Urbis Development and SRC Management reached an agreement for us to take over 2 units totaling 3,500 square feet in St Catherine's Place, just off East Street. Down the end of East Street, near Poundland and Pound Stretcher, yeah, between Dolby Avenue and East Street, there's an office building. It used to be DHSS, which is near the YMCA, which the YMCA is underneath it, and it's near Iceland, yeah? Another place? Okay. It's known as a bit of a dead zone, which the town teams are going to, with us and other people, turn into a beautiful place. So, the larger one of the 2,500 square feet has been refurbished and made into a large and lovely creative space, because this is what we do. And we had our opening launch gig last Saturday night, and so far we've had no complaints from the neighbours. Now, remembering point 1, we're currently negotiating the handover of the smaller, scruffier space to a collective of visual artists headed up by the firstborn daughter of Reckless Dave's younger sister Della, who you remember I used to date. Now, it's not for me to make any great claims that everything in the universe is collected together as one. There is no separation, but it is true, and I've just proved it. So, we're now going to show you about 15 pictures. Or have you been watching? Have you seen the pictures? Yeah. Oh, okay. We'll start. Okay. Now, what I have is a question, to leave you with a question. I want to know, because I know what we're going to do. We're going to run various workshops, and we already have Soundworks, which is very beautiful and very big. I want to know what this space, God, it was ugly, wasn't it? What this space can be used for in terms of the town teams, local regeneration, local community groups. Because I don't know yet, because we only set it up last Saturday, and I have no experience of the whole pop-up scenario. We only have this space for 6 months, possibly for a year, before the development starts in St Catherine's Place. So, I'm going to leave that with you as a question to for you to ponder what we could do with a very, very large and now extremely beautiful space, I would say so myself, in honesty. I've doubled the income of the YMCA in the last month, but incidentally, to get the space together, we've spent about £1,400. Urbis and SRC management spent the same amount of money making it ugly to doable. It doesn't take into account all my labouring work at a minimum wage. So it's probably £5,000 or £6,000 to get a space that's ready. Not just for creative work, for theatre and we've got that. Not just for creativity and music, thank you. But also for community groups, because we've been speaking with Linkage, who may be able to use it. So I'll restate the question. It's available for use for anybody who knows anybody who might know somebody who might want to approach us. It's rent-free, but there are some business rates to pay and heating and lighting. So if you know anybody, we are gathering voices. We're very easy to find on Google. Thank you very much.